first of all, as Slam Dunk Basketball, we would like to first thank the Silverbacks for doing the nation proud and for making it to the first time in the quarterfinals of the Afro Basketball Championship down in Kigali. It was a tough task, and history was made when the Silverbacks, our boys, were able to beat on Nigeria. Welcome back to the second part of Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. My name is Felix Eopal. Our special guest today is Darlene Murungi Tashobia, the assistant captain of the Junior Gazelles, and I am also with my co-host Emmanuel Teng. Darlene, tell us about the fun parts of Nairobi off court. What was interesting? You know, there's lots of activity that happens off court, and the excitement and everything. What was it like?
It was interesting because you got to meet a lot of people, talking to the coaches and asking them about their stories and their history with sports. It was really good, you know, and just maybe doing activities with the team, because we did a lot of basketball, but we also did a lot of team building sessions, yeah.
In these team building sessions, what was actually going on?
Well, sometimes we'd play games, like before in the morning we'd play games to kind of loosen up the nerves, because the first day everyone was so tense. So we did a bit of games and also, you know, just interacting, talking, sharing each other's stories, you know, getting to know each other. Yeah.
So it was like a great team bonding.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. Angels Basketball Club should actually pick a leaf and...
I think we're the only team in the league that does these things.
Bonding sessions. The only team in the league that does it. Angels basketball team does bonding sessions.
Yeah, we have cake sessions, we have juice sessions,
well,
I understand all these things.
At the start of the season, Power Basketball team had a bonding session, which was a retreat, but it ended up in a 5-game losing streak.
That happens. Yeah.
So I'm wondering the sessions that Angels is doing.
Our sessions are really good because we actually have a hashtag that we beyond the game. Most of the teams just focus on what's happening on the basketball court, but basically basketball, I believe 50% of basketball is what's happening off the court. Because if I have a player who's not okay emotionally, maybe spiritually, whatever it is, they won't give me 100% on the court. But if I can take care of them off the court, you know, give them small incentives, a party here, a party there, cake sessions here and there, basically let them know that they're part of the team, let them know that they're loved. Then such a player is going to give me 100% on the court, yeah? So we do those things at Angels. For anyone watching out there, yeah, join Angels Basketball Club.
Well, Angels is actually trying to do some very good things that should be happening out there. Darlene, still, moving forward, do you aspire to play further, or do you want to take a different direction? You said that previously you played, then you went into netball, then actually had to make another turn back. So tell the viewers out there what it is that you may want or desire in terms of sports.
In terms of sports, I still would want to play. Like at a national level, I want to play on the senior Gazelles team, and I also want to play college basketball, and maybe play in the EuroLeague. But I do want to come back and improve basketball in Uganda because there's so much potential here, and if I go and play for France, that doesn't really help me or help my country because they're not improving in any way. So yeah.
Oh, so you have aspirations of actually playing in the EuroLeague, in
Yeah.
our national league, and
Yeah.
also improving the game of basketball.
Mm.
Emma, very, very, very good
Yeah.
intentions and a very good roadmap
Yeah.
that is from our assistant captain
Yeah.
of the Junior Gazelles.
Yeah, but what I would like to ask, so you want to improve Claire Lamuno.
Mm.
Yeah, I think one of the best players we have in the country now. She's doing a project, I think, that will be released soon. She's building a couple of courts up in Gulu. So you've seen basketball outside Uganda. You went to the FIBA Youth Camp just a week ago, I think. You've been at the under-16. You've played with international players and all these things. So what are some of those things that we are not doing as Uganda, that teams are doing outside there, that different organizations are doing outside there, that we can basically copy, yeah, or start doing to make youth basketball basically better?
One of the things that really needs to be done is just investing, because investing in the youth and being deliberate and cautious about it, because when we're going to Cairo, we only had 3 days of training before.
3 days.
3 days as a team to train. They just
Okay.
told us we're going to ABU and you're going to train. So
Which is very minimal.
yeah, very minimal. And also maybe looking for talent everywhere, like how Claire is building courts in Gulu.
Gulu.
Yes, that's nurturing a lot of talent that usually you wouldn't be able to find if you didn't make steps like that to actually do it. So more things like that. And also we need to have parents believing in their children, you know, understanding that you can balance education and basketball and they can coexist and you can be good at both, you know. And yeah, just keep just believing in the sport and what it can do for people.
That's quite interesting. One of the comments here, actually, which has also been repeated by a number of people, is there was the Nairobi camp, Africa Youth camp was for boys.
Yeah.
Only the host nation was
Yeah.
allowed to have
Yeah.
a girls team. Have someone here called called Victoria Moreme, yes, asking how was she able to get into the camp, yet it was only for the host nation.
Well, I was only able to get into the camp because not me, but my dad made a request and asked if he could sponsor me to go because he knew it would be a good opportunity. And I'm very blessed to be able to do things like that because he does work in FIBA. And so he asked if I could go and he would sponsor me and pay for the flight there and everything just for the exposure. So when I went, I knew I couldn't be mediocre. I had to give my best because already I wasn't budgeted for, to say the least. So yeah, it wasn't like they only picked me like I was special in any sense. No, I got the opportunity because my dad, he knew the right people, to say the least, and you know, I had to take advantage of I took the advantage of the opportunity.
Impressive. You were lucky. There was an opportunity. There was also the chance. There were also the resources, and most importantly, when you went down there, you actually displayed your best. You gave it your all, and you were able to make the top 5.
Yes.
Emma, what does that say about the other talent, the other girls out there who might not have that exact opportunity, chance, or resource?
The thing I know about basketball, there's a saying that preparation, when you prepare, okay, equals opportunity. So when opportunity comes and finds you prepared, it clicks, okay? She's been practicing basketball since she was 10, played on the under-16. So it's not a surprise that she actually went for that camp, even if your dad knew a few people here and there, but still your skill took you there, your talent took you there. And for the girls out there, I know it's a very hard thing for girls to basically prepare by themselves, to work out by themselves. It takes a very high level of discipline. They always need people running behind them, pushing them here and there. And when opportunity comes and they're not ready, you can't make it anywhere. Yeah. So for the girls out there, push yourselves. I know there's a lot of boys right now on the basketball court. The Matthew Kisaches, the under 6. These guys are always practicing. Yeah. And you can see the
Wake up
fruits
in the
of
morning, and the only thing is basketball.
Yeah. And you can see the fruits of their labor, winning gold at the ISF. So for the girls out there, don't wait to be pushed. Don't wait for a coach to tell you to get onto the basketball court. Prepare, because you never know what opportunity is coming. These days, you know, the NBA has a lot of camps that are coming up. I believe that the FIBA Youth Camp is going to be a yearly thing. So next year might be another girl's opportunity. All right. But if she's not ready for it, then that's another issue. So yeah, the girls should prepare, get ready for what's coming. And I think now they actually have time, because most of the girls are not in school with this whole lockdown and corona situation. So they should use this time to better improve themselves, you know, as basketballers. Yeah.
The images that you've been seeing there are of Darlene Murungi Tashobia in action, which are actually on the screen at the moment as I speak. And for the viewers out there on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on our website, houseoftalentug.com, the FIBA Africa Camp that just was concluded in Nairobi is the inaugural session. It is the first of its kind, and it is going to be continuing, and it's also continuing in other countries. It is in actually Senegal, and later in next year, NBA is going to be coming on board for that camp. This was what you'd call the litmus test of it, to see how it is going to happen. Unfortunately, our boys were not able to make it to the final cut, but we have one of our very own assistant captain of the Junior Gazelles who made it to that particular camp. So that is how the dynamics of that work. And for the World Sports Championship, it is a championship that has been ongoing, and the requests are sent to FUBA to actually select players who should be going down, who they believe have the right athleticism, the right skills to actually make part of it. However, Emma, the ironic bit about this is that the federation was actually sitting duck in all this. The federation did not do anything, and it is the parents and other well-wishers of the selected players who actually came up to ensure that the trip happens to Serbia and back. The boys will be returning, for our viewers, next week. They will be returning on Monday. Now, what does that say of a federation and of our FUBA president, Mr. Nasser Serunjoji, whose speech and chorus has been grassroots development of the game of basketball?
Well, I think we should say that most of the money was used for the Silverbacks down in Kigali.
The money lender is still owing us.
Yeah, but I mean, we've reached a point in basketball where if the federation can't help you, someone else has to. And, you know, I'm thankful to parents, you know, like Mr. Tashobia and the other parents who, you know, took a step forward to sponsor these kids to go, you know, and live their dreams, basically achieve their dreams. Because, I mean, if you keep working out and then, you know, there's nothing to show for it, it's a hard thing. You can lose motivation. But if there are parents that are stepping in to sponsor these kids and, you know, take them out to different places, you know, have them explore their talent, it's a good thing. As for FUBA, FUBA always has financial problems. It has always been the case. You can see the images right there on your screen. For the NBA Youth Camp.
Yes, and you can see our champions there who are returning next week. They won gold in Serbia World School Sports Championship 3-on-3. Coach Jonathan Egau. We will be hosting them very soon here at Slam Dunk Basketball. The entire crew will be down here. That is the team when they were down in Nairobi. You can see them with Coach Ronnie Muteri and Coach Mitz.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we have more of these camps, I want one of these camps to come down to Uganda, actually, because it will give an opportunity to more of the kids down in Uganda.
Where are you going to host the camp from? If it is here in Uganda?
The ABU.
The indoor arena is off bounds.
Yeah.
by NCS.
Yeah.
So where is the camp going to be?
I mean, we can always renovate. We have courts in Makerere University. UCU has
Full
good
court.
courts.
Full court is not in a situation
No.
where David is also actually laughing about it. Is full court in shape of actually being able to host anything concerning a camp or an international engagement? As far as Allah says it all.
Yeah, I
You've been
mean,
to full court, Darren.
Yes.
You've played pickup there?
she played a tournament there.
Yeah.
No, she played the tournament.
Yeah.
I'm meaning pickup.
No, yeah. That's like a jungle. It's
You don't want to go into the elbow section whereby fouling is legal.
But it's also very far.
Huh?
It's far from where I.
Who said you stay on the other side?
Yeah.
The courts the other side. How is it there when pickup is there? Is it the same as the courts this side? Pool court, main ground, what's it called? YMCA, Makerere University Business School, MUBS, Kabira, KIU. Is the pickup also that intense? Whereby fouling is legal?
I think where I used to play pickup, I used to play at Tourist Life. It's near our house. It was more organized than a lot of places because there's like a coach who refs because they first train and they play. So it's more organized, but it's still a bit brutal. You can't be flimsy and go and expect to just get an easy 3 or something. Yeah, yeah.
I like her use of diction. It is brutal. Why is it that at pickup, to our viewers out there watching us here in Uganda and in the diaspora, pickup is basketball terminology whereby you go on court and you actually divide yourselves among a bunch of players. It might be 3 against 3 or 4 against 4 or 5 against 5, and then you play a fun game whereby you set a certain limit of who wins the game. It might be who scores the first 5 baskets wins, or who scores the first 7 baskets wins. So in basketball terminology, that is what we define as pickup.
I like how you said a fun game. In some places it's not a fun
Yeah,
game.
some places it's not fun.
Yeah, like at pool court, it's not fun. We're trying to win.
But there's no prize at the end of the day.
No, the prize is bragging rights.
Yeah,
We get to
pride.
go home with the bragging rights here.
It is slam dunk basketball. When we return, we talk about the league actually not resuming, which is very sad for the basketball lovers and stakeholders out there. But the lower league division will be resuming. Your comments, your reviews, please send them in. We'll return after this short break.
People at the moment are struggling to understand the older generation because times have changed. Technology has come in.
They have moved on.
Yes.
We're the ones sitting back and wondering, what is my child on to? TikTok has surpassed WhatsApp. The other one I call, I never call it Facebook, it's Bookface. Why are you on Bookface? Dad, it's Facebook.
Yes.
Me, I keep saying, I have a foot amongst the millennials.
Yeah.
And I understand the traditionalists.
Okay.
There's a song in the 60s, by the way, and in the 90s, 70s, where they're like, parents don't understand.
Yes.
Remember Prince?
Yes.
Prince.
One game one sport,
Yeah.
brotherhood, and when you go out there and you put out your hearts and you play great,
Yeah.
yes.
I like that East African basketball has really grown, represented by Uganda, South Sudan, by Rwanda, and by Kenya. I know Tanzania is still lagging behind a bit, and Burundi is yet to
still,
come.
yeah.
But, having 4 of these teams from East Africa making it all the way, to the second round is a very good thing. It shows that there's positivity, in African basketball. It's really growing.
And in
that
the
is-
region,
yes,
mostly.
in the region. That is what we need to see. I think in no time we're going to have a lot of players, in the NBA, playing in other leagues. And FUBA, we should really pick a leaf from what Ferroaba has done. And like you said, let's break it down, rebuild it. see
Yeah,
what
but
we can get out
in
of
my
it.
view, it's not about just taking out the carpet so that you can sweep the dust there.
Yeah.
We shouldn't actually pick a leaf from Ferroaba. We
should
should pick
take a tree.
we should take the entire tree.
With its roots.
Yes. Welcome back. It is the final segment of Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. Our special guest today is Darlene Murungi Tashobya, as I already introduced her. We've been having quite an interesting talk about the various developments that have been happening in Ugandan basketball, the journey down in Nairobi, and also our championship. Uganda won gold at the World Sports Championship down in Serbia. Although, Emma, something which is actually not interesting, which actually we have always discussed about, our level of preparation and how the boys got there.
Yeah.
Speaking to Coach Nicholas Natoreza, also the technical director of the Federation of Uganda Basketball Association, FUBA, he tells me the players were selected and had a 1-week training at Fusion Sports.
Yeah.
And after that, they selected the coaches. And after the selection, there was a shortlist, and finally, Jonathan Egao was the man selected as head coach.
Yeah.
For the ladies, for the girls who went down in Nairobi, it was not actually the work of the federation. Although the federation wants to take credit for that, which actually is rather absurd.
Yeah.
The selection was based on FIBA. The boys went on a different assessment, and so did the coaches, because they were going through trainings.
Yeah.
And finally, Coach Ronnie Muteli was selected amongst all the coaches that were able to submit their papers from the coaches of Uganda.
Yeah.
And my question, which actually I'm putting out to the VP Marketing, I believe he's always watching. VP Marketing, Anud Katabi, in charge of marketing and advertising and publicity of the Federation. All this information is not churned out. As media, we get backsided and we have to actually hunt for this information.
Yeah.
How can we make this better? We are in a situation whereby the National Basketball League is not going to resume. It's going to resume next year. Now, how can we put our house in order?
Well, when it comes to publicity, I always like what the Americans do with their players. From the time a player is in middle school, okay, they're already telling us that the next big thing is coming. Yeah, so they put out their players there. They publicize not only the players but everything that happens. When you mention basketball, what's the first league that comes to your head? NBA, right?
NBA.
Then the WNBA, then Euro somewhere there. Okay, so they've done a lot when it comes to publicity, which we're not doing here. I mean, we hardly got any information of what happened down with the Silverbacks in Kigali. We're getting half information about the hotel
We're getting
here,
snippets
snippets of information.
Yes.
Yeah, And that's not a good way to do things. The basketball fans, whichever stakeholders there in basketball, we really need to get information on what's happening, okay? With every category, be it the under 16, be it the Lady Gazelles, be it the national team. We need information as people, because with that information, that's how we're going to know which of our players we need to take for different camps, okay? We need to know what kind of improvements the players are doing and all these things. So, to Arnold, Mr. Katabi, don't hide from the people. The people need to know what's happening. I think up to now, the FUBA website is not really up.
FUBA website is not up.
Yeah.
It's up, but it's dormant.
Okay, it's up, but it's dormant. So
basically, you actually conclude that it is when you go to physics laws, it is no work done.
Yeah. So if I wanted to get to know the under 16 players in Uganda, okay, let's say I'm a FIBA scout, so I go to the FUBA website and it's not there.
Yeah, let's say I need video of Darlene, I need video of another player, I need video of Priscilla.
And it's not there. Yeah. So they lose that opportunity because that information is not made public. So I think, apart from just playing the game of basketball, there are all these other dynamics that you have to look at. And publicity these days with social media now, okay? That's one of the things that FUBA has to put out there, okay? Especially for the young ones, okay? For the older players, we can always find ways of doing it. But for the young players, for them to get opportunity, we need to put them out there. Let them be visible. Let me go on the internet, search for Darlene and, find she has been at this camp, that camp, these are, the things she's doing.
So her highlights, these are her statistics.
Yeah. And as someone, let's say from FIBA, from the NBA, from WNBA, it would be easier for me to pick a player like that. But if I have no idea who they are and what they're doing, it's always a hard thing.
Darlene, so many things have been mentioned world over concerning ladies basketball. And here in Uganda, it is the same story. Ladies basketball is not up there as men's basketball. You said at the start of the show, you would love to also come into administration of basketball after being a player, or also helping out to develop the ladies game. What do you think should be done in your view?
I think there should be there needs to be more leadership where ladies are actively appreciated, because if you think of FUBA and who the people who work in it and who are the heads and like the faces of FUBA, you don't typically think of a woman. You don't know, maybe there is, but not known as much as she should be.
We have a FIBA woman commissioner, Joy Oringa.
Yes. But we need more names like that. We need
a FIBA woman commissioner.
Yes, we met her in Cairo. Yeah. She's a great person. And we need more people like that, more people with influence being in power, because the more people do that, the more the younger generation gets inspired and actually believes they can. Because if you only see men in power and then you become accustomed to it, and you're like, that position only men can get into it, or it's not attainable for me because I'm a woman. And also we need to have more belief in ourselves and our skill, and also not believe the norm that that our gender can't, because we're women, we can't be able to do certain things, Yeah.
Oh, so that needs to be done. Interesting things here. I have someone here by Seka Jaroni asking, what was the most annoying thing about the tournament? My sister was on that team.
I think that would be the under 16.
So, their views from the viewers' remarks. What was the most annoying thing? And
apart from the loss,
leave the loss alone and everything.
That's a tough question.
It's really a tough question. Definitely, every time there's someone who could be on the team and you just say, this person is always annoying. This person is always speaking my stuff. This person is.
So I went for when I played for the under 18. So they always give breakfast, right? And the breakfast is like full course meal. So
Self-service.
one of the coaches like, you guys shouldn't eat that much because we're going for a game and we went and lost the games. In our minds, we're like, we should have eaten.
You should have eaten the whole food.
Yeah, so for me that was one of the annoying things that happened that time. Yeah.
So, Darlene, enlighten us. What were those annoying moments? Don't worry, the coach is not here.
This is tough, but maybe if what we would do,
Those annoying moments, of course.
we would do trainings, yeah, in Cairo, and sometimes I fell victim to this though. We would do this one particular drill, and it was just running the lanes and how transition from defense to offense, and we did that thing every time, and there would always be someone, and one time it was actually me who didn't know where I was supposed to be, and then would keep doing it, and then they would shout at us, you know. That was just one of the things that, yeah, if I had to point out anything.
And back when you went back to the hotel, who is that player that just kept the entire group happy? So is that player who is like the comical person in the entire group?
Must be Priscilla.
Yeah, it was Priscilla. I think the majority of our players.
Who the player that always looked at everything as though, no, it's a simple situation.
Yeah, definitely
Don't sweat
Mariam.
about it.
Mariam, yeah, she was that person, I would say. Also, Sarah, Namale, Priscilla, of course. I think everyone was just so, no one was like, you know, that serious person. They go to their room, they sleep, they come back, and they're only training. Everyone was, you know, interactive, light-hearted. Yeah, so.
Priscilla always, the few games that I watched at KIU courts, whenever Nemsonsa was playing, she always says this thing, Tuba Sobola.
Yeah.
Was that the attitude that she still had down there?
Yeah.
Tuba Sobola.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to, because already when we got into the tournament, that loss, we played the first game of the tournament and they beat us 90-12. We couldn't be the team, we couldn't stay being the team that just was like the beatable team, because, you know, in every tournament they have
Everyone
to be.
was like, this is the team where I'm going to pick points
Yeah, get that 2 points from our win. So, you know, we needed to have someone like Priscilla, who was always ready to encourage us, you know, be a captain. Yeah.
Lead the ship.
Yeah, lead the ship.
Emma, as we're getting to the final part and closure of the show, the National Basketball League is actually in balance.
Yeah.
JKL, JKL, KIU Titans, and City Oilers are not willing to resume. NASA Serunjiji Fuba president put out a letter cancelling the resuming beg your pardon to our viewers, the resuming of the National Basketball League.
Yeah.
Because teams are required to pay 600,000 shillings to restart, and a bare minimum of 8 teams had to register by Monday of this week.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. So the NBL was cancelled. The lower division will go on.
Yeah.
Speaking to the chairman and president of City Oil basketball team, Muhammad Santur, his reasoning, according to the committee that runs the team, is they have BAL coming on, that is the Basketball Africa League, and then we also have, as a nation, Silverbacks, we have the World Cup qualifiers, which are coming also at the end of November. Yeah? And 4 of the players on his team, that is Jimmy Enabu, Tony Dweliba, James Okelo, and Ben Komakech, are on the local best players who are on the national team. Where does that put our league? I believe Falcons should be happy. The league is not starting. You have survived relegation. Congratulations.
No, first of all, we're not going to be relegated. Yeah. I can't say I'm a prophet, but remember I told you that this league will not resume. Yeah. citing first of all the 600K the guys had to pay, then the tests for COVID, then paying your players, and some people.
The 600,000 was meant to cater for the tests according to FUBA. If a team paid the 600,000 shillings, FUBA will do the testing for the teams.
Yeah, but that would be
every before a game.
Yeah.
That is what was in writing.
Yeah, but we both know that wouldn't happen. Yeah, so it was a tricky situation for certain teams. So the league not resuming, we could say it's been almost 2 years that we've had a very shaky league, and other nations have moved on. Rwanda moved on, Kenya moved on. People actually playing with the whole situation of COVID and lockdown, and to know that Uganda is not really that engaged in basketball is kind of terrifying, because what happens to the younger players who are supposed to come up, and play in the league? We also have young players now. The Nabisunsa team are in the top league. So what happens to them? They're not playing anymore. Yeah. What happens to those other young players who are just joined the bigger teams?
And it's also very frustrating for the other teams, because other teams are ready to play.
Yeah.
Coach Nicholas Natareza was telling me they are ready to play, even if they tell them the game is tomorrow.
Yeah.
He told me, my boys have been training, my girls have been training.
Yeah.
We have been training down at campus.
Yeah.
We are good to go, as long as the federation says fixtures out. But the fixtures already out. Why would they have to make another fixture? Those are the questions whereby you, Nasa Serunjoji, Hudson Sega Moinge, the General Secretary, and Arnold Katabi need to put their house in order.
Yeah.
The fixture was already out. Teams know which games they are supposed to play. Why do you still have to reshuffle them?
Okay, this is what I think should happen. Okay, we have 7 teams that are confirmed to play for the men, and the ladies, I'm not sure how many. So why not just hold the tournament?
No, the ladies teams engaged. All confirmed they're willing to play.
Yeah, so if all the ladies teams confirmed,
none of the ladies teams pulled out.
So the ladies team should continue with the league as is. For the 7 teams of the men that actually confirmed to play, why not just hold a tournament, so that at least we have some basketball engagement happening before the year ends, because we don't know what's going to happen next year. We'll be in the same situation or not. So let's have some basketball going on. I mean, there's always a plan B to everything. So how about we move to plan B and get these people engaged? Let the guys play. Yeah.
Darlene, as we wind up Slam Dunk Basketball Talk this particular afternoon, there's so many people watching you out there. There are so many of your peers, your friends. There's so many girls who may not be live at the moment but will watch you later. What inspiration or words of advice can you give them as we wind up?
To believe in yourself and believe in your skill and your potential to be a good player, because I know there were times when I didn't think I could do it and I wanted to give up, but then my dad, he was there, he pushed me, he would wake me up for training in the morning. When the last day before I had, shots were dropping. You just need to have, and you need to have that self-drive, but you also need to have support. So seek for support from your parents. Don't be shy to bring up the idea of, can I go for training today? Or maybe can I get a basketball and be dribbling? Because you need to be able to not make excuses for yourself. That's a thing that a lot of people subconsciously do. They're like, well, I don't have a court at home, so I can't do anything. But you can get a basketball and learn to dribble, Then when you actually are able to access a court, you'll have a starting point, And also to, just if you love something, give it your all. Because I know there was a time when I played basketball, but I didn't love it, so I was just going with the flow, not really. I didn't have any sense of direction. I didn't have any goal. But when I started setting goals for myself and actively trying to reach them, that's when I actually started seeing results, like with the national team. I set that as a goal, and it paid off when I got to play, and also the Kenya camp. Because the second I came back from Cairo, I was sleeping one morning. I had slept. I'd come back. It was the second day I'd been back. I hear a knock at my door. It's my dad. Get up, coach is coming in 30 minutes. Be ready. You have to be able to do that for yourself, or have someone who's willing to do that for you. And just look for opportunities to play. I know there's like a lot of people who can't, it's not as simple as just waking up, getting a driver to take you somewhere. But look around. Maybe your area there's like a place you can go for pickup. Maybe you can borrow someone's ball. Just if you want it enough, you'll be able to put in the work. Yeah.
So finally, your best moment and your lowest moment at the tournament, Emma, I think that is fair enough as a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Best moment at the tournament or the youth camp, and your lowest moment, and we wrap it up. Or even also, you can say hi to perhaps your best friend.
My best moment, let's start with that, was our game against Egypt in the semis. I was a top scorer that game, and that was the first game where I felt like I actually showed.
You hustle played.
Yeah, where I actually showed my skill. Because the other games, it was like I was there, but I was just like another player, and it was like my time to shine, I guess, in that game. Even though we lost, but I know I played well. My lowest moment was probably our first game against Mali, because psychologically that took a toll. Like losing 92-12 it does something to you, and also our loss against Algeria in the semis, because when we wanted third place and then we just lost by 2 points, and the game before we'd also lost by 2 points, and you just keep thinking about the shot you didn't make in the game. What difference it could have.
If that had dropped, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, and I don't think I gave my best in that game. I didn't rise to the challenge when it came to understanding how serious it was to get that position for our country and for me as an individual and as a team. So that was definitely my lowest. Yeah.
Emma, your last word as we wrap this up.
I'd just like to talk. She was talking about the parents. We have parents out there who, parents have this thing of, you can't balance books and basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's something that can be balanced. She's doing it. I've done it before. And so to the parents out there, encourage your kids. It might not even be basketball. It could be any sport, anything your kid loves. Don't take it away from them. They can balance that with the books that they're doing. So encourage the kids, push them, because like the Bible says, you'll never know what will work out for you. The basketball might work out, the books might not, okay? Both might work out. So for the parents out there, push the kids, let them get to a place where, they're the best of what they can be. Yeah.
My name is Felix Opal. It has been Slam Dunk Basketball. To the basketball lovers out there, unfortunately, the National Basketball League at the moment is not going to be ongoing or restarting because the teams were not able to make quorum. Our special guest this particular afternoon has been Darlene Murungi Tashobia and my co-host Emmanuel Ateng. Thank you so much. Catch you next time.